We're having one of our favourite dishes for dinner tonight, okay? And it is the easy satay chicken. However, I need to make the sauce now, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to deal with all that when it comes to later, and I might try and prep some of the veggies. And there are a couple of little twists in the recipe, little tweaks that I've made, which make a difference. So let's get going and get started with the satay sauce. So here it is, the easy satay chicken. All right, I've got all my seeds out here. I've got half a teaspoon of fennel seeds going in. Half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Get those lids on there too. Okay. 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. So all of these are just containers that I have reused and taken to the sauce and refilled. 1 tablespoon of turmeric powder. There is now. Little tip with this too. Obviously need to go and get some more of that. And I did get a little bit more out here. So this was. All right, now a little tip with your turmeric. So when you use turmeric, it does, let's see, I've got my numbers on the bottom. When I take it to the sauce and they weigh it and then they fill it up and weigh it again. All right, with your turmeric, what you'll find is the inside of your lid will go green. All right, so there's a couple of things you can do. You can spray it with oil first to try and resist that, and that should work. Or once it's gone green, put it out in the sunlight and it will turn back to its colour. Okay, mixing bowl. "30 seconds, speed 10. So just blitzing up all those spices. Okay, I'll show you that. So there it is, all blitzed up in there. Okie doke. Let's just scrape out this off the top here. See all that beautiful turmeric? The turmeric smells amazing too, and it's so good for you, anti-inflammatory, you know, really good for joints. So it's a really good thing to have. But you do need it with black pepper to actually activate the curcumin in the turmeric. Right, so I'm just going to spit that out. So you know there's any black pepper going in. So I'll put some black pepper in. 2 centimeters of fresh ginger. Now mine is frozen as usual. And 5 garlic cloves. They're going. 1 to 2 fresh red chilies. I have de-seeded, but I'm using 2. Lid on again. "30 seconds on speed 7. Okay, I'm just going to stop it for a bit of a look, and I might just scrape down and do it again. Pretty good, actually. You can, yeah, you know, sometimes you can just hear that the blades going round. It's really not doing anything. So I've scraped it down. We'll have another little go. Okay, next. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Another little go around here because I could see some more turmeric around there. Might as well get it all into the recipe. much as possible. The other way you can do this when it is just dry is you can actually just use a brush. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. Such a spectacular colour too. And I'll tell you what's beginning to smell like it. So this is, so it's one of our favourite dishes. We have a son who lives in America, and he came back for 6 months during COVID, and then had to go back, and this was the request for his last meal before he left. So I've got some tamari here. I'm popping that in. Put that on my shopping list, I think. 1 tablespoon of tamarind paste. So I've got this here, but I will actually need to use a teaspoon, I think, to get it out. But I'd say there's, actually, I'll pop it into here, into my tablespoon. Put that on the list too. All right, so that's going in. Yeah. You on my shopping list. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Just the Iron brand. Like the Iron brand, their coconut cream and everything is by far and away the best. No additives and preservatives. And I've got plenty of that, so I don't actually need to worry about getting more of that. So that's good. All right. 1 tablespoon of dark brown sugar. And then 270 grams of coconut cream. So again, yep, use the Iron brand. Now you can make your own coconut cream. I have to say I haven't had a massive success with coconut cream. Coconut milk is simple. Just just pop your whatever coconut you have in there, blitz it up with some water, and you'll pretty much get your coconut milk. It's, you know, there are recipes on Cookie too. Okay. 60 grams of peanut butter. Now it is not homemade peanut butter. It is this butter, peanut butter, because that's what my husband likes, and he's the peanut butter eater. So we'll just go with that. Plenty of Thermy things he has taken to, but not for peanut butter. So, you know, I don't buy tomato sauce. Or, he actually said to me, with the tomato sauce, it's tomato ketchup recipe. I think it's from the UK. He says you don't need to make barbecue sauce anymore. Tomato sauce will just do the trick because it's got a bit of spice in it. All right, a bit more peanut butter. It's actually very nice, isn't it? Yum. Move on. 3 minutes. 90 degrees, speed 1. Okay. So whilst that's happening, let me just get a couple of these things out of the way. That's the lid drips now. All right, we can preview. So after that's cooked for 3 minutes, we're going to actually blend the sauce for 30 seconds. Then it says to put it into a thermal serving bowl. Now it is nearly 12:30, and we're not going to be having dinner till 7:30. So what I'm going to do, because we're going elsewhere, we're not having it here, that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to put this into a container, and when my daughter's got a TM6, so that's really easy. Go up there, I'm going to use the reheat function. So where is it? The warm up function. All right, use the warm up function, and I will warm this up. And I'll actually have a note of what temperature. So it's going to 90 degrees. So when I put it in there, I will set the warm up for 90 degrees and let it warm up first, pop it into a thermo server, and then continue with the recipe. All right. So we've got that whole blend thing happening and putting it into a thermal server. Insert your simmering basket in. 400 grams of jasmine rice. Now, you remember with rice, you always need to then pull it out, give it a really good rinse so there's no the starchiness left. The really good trick after this is, so it says wash it, it says place 1,200 grams of water. Do boiling water.
Okay, it shortens the cooking time by a little bit. Actually, make sure that your rice is really beautiful. And your rice, because you don't actually need to wash out the bowl between finishing the sauce and putting the water in for the rice, your rice ends up a beautiful, you know, turmeric-y colour. It's absolutely lovely. And it says, correct, insert that. Oh, you're going to put the varoma on top. And you're going to put your chicken thighs in the varoma, remembering to keep a little bit of a hole there so the steam can get through. Secure the lid, and then it says, I think it says speed 1. You actually need it on about speed 4. All right, so the important things to remember for that stage is when you're cooking rice, you want to be on speed 4. All right, so it circulates all that steam around, and remember to start with boiling water. So that's going to cook for 10 minutes. Then you're going to stir the chicken. And you're going to put the tray in the varoma, and you're going to add carrots cut into thin strips. So what I'm actually going to do is use the cutter to prep my carrots. 200 grams of broccolini cut into thirds. 50 grams of red capsicum cut into strips. And again, I'm going to use the cutter to do that. And oh, it's gone back. Yeah, so basically you do some of the other veggies. And then towards the very end, you take everything out, all right? You put the sauce back into the bowl, you add your chicken and your veggies and everything in there, and your sugar snap peas. I know they're in plastic, but I can't find sugar snap peas outside of plastic. It's really upsetting. Although we are very lucky where we are in Monash, they will recycle if you take it back to their recycling centre. So that is what I'm doing. Yeah, so, oh, hang on, I think I've missed something here. Keep measuring cup then. So I'm going to blend on speed 10. Okay, so this is where if you're going to eat it soon, you would put it into your thermostater. I'm going to put, oh my gosh, this is just incredible. I'm going to pour this into this glass thing here, glass container. It is the best sauce, it really is. And we're always pushing down to the bottom and then going round in a clockwise. All right. Now, normally you wouldn't go and wash that out. You would just keep going with the recipe. I'm just going to get rid of this. Cut that off too. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually prep those veggies. So I'm just going to give this a very quick rinse. Actually, I've got another idea. Oh my God, that sauce is so good. Glad I left the seeds out. Oh, it's got a bit of a kick to it. I'm sure my daughter's going to be too happy with that, but hopefully it'll spread out amongst the veggies. I'm going to move that to one side. I'm going to give this just a quick little rinse out because so it's cold. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just save the recipe there. To rinse the lid. Oh, I need the lid. Don't need the lid. All right, do that later. All right, now what I'm going to do is grab all my cutter bits and we're going to pop them in. So I've got the shaft, the drive shaft.
just goes over your blades. It sits properly in one direction only. Going to put the bowl in. And I've got to check, because this is what I'm really bad at. I want to slice my carrots. All right. So I am going to put the side one up in here. I've just got one carrot here, which I'm going to fit in the large part there. Actually, I might put it that way around. Have that ready to go. Find my slicing, and I'm going to do a thick slice. Okay. That. There we go. My carrots are all prepped. So I'm going to pop them into another container. This is actually one of the vacuum seal containers. So I'm going to pop them in here. How good's that? Really good. Okay. Then I've also got to slice some onion. It actually says cut it into wedges, but I'm going to slice it. Okay, so I'm going to pop my onion in there. And I'm going to do that. I'll go thick as well. Okay, this is amazing. Look, if you're doing caramelized onions, how good would that be? Have that absolutely done like that. Now, sometimes you will get little bits left on the upper side of the cutter. If they're not suitable to go into your dish, just keep them, pop them in your veggie stock. Okay. So I'm going to pop that in with my carrots for later. Probably a little bit more onion than they said, but anyway, that's all right. And now I've got to change sides, because now I've got the slicing side upwards. So just change that. Pop that in there. Got my onion and my carrot ready to go. And I want to slice this capsicum. So I'm going to pop it down in the small. So I want to come out of here and go, sorry, grating. I'm grating it. I think that's what I want to do. No, I think I want to slice it. Oh, let's try. No, I think I want to grate. Let's try one piece grated, and we'll see. Now, see if that's what I want. It's a bit thin. All right, let's try. So what it's done, it's grated like that. I actually want it to be chunks. So maybe it's not something I'll be doing, but I will. Let me just try. Oh, it's not too bad. I'm going to try it on the slice side, and we'll have a look at that. And then if all else fails, I'll go back to the knife. It's the great thing about this cutter. We're trying things all the time. Oops, is in my ear. Slicing. Okay. I think that's probably what I want. But we'll just have another check, see what it looks like. That is better. All right, you see it's a lot better. Thicker. So I'm going to do the other two pieces like that. Okay. So now I have a whole lot of veggies prepped for tonight's dinner. They're in here as well. So let's just get this down here. Got the red capsicum as well. Beautiful. Now it also calls for some broccolini, and it just wants that chopped into thirds. Actually says 200 grams. So I am going to just weigh that. So I'm coming out of my slicer, pop my scales on. Doesn't matter if I just weigh it in here anyway. That'll be the whole lot. All right, so I'm going to just cut these into thirds as requested. Put them in here. All right, and then I'm going to vacuum seal it. So I'm going to pop this lid on. There's what's in the way. Something's in the way. There we go. All right. And then have the little pump here. Vacuum sealer pump. Pop that on top here. Now what you want to watch for is this little button's going to pop in. So I'll tilt it towards you. There we go. So that means it's a vacuum in there. Okay, so there I am, ready prepped to just pull this stuff out when I get to my daughter's house. Cut it open like that. We can just get going. So we'll reheat the sauce. I'm going to weigh up the rice in a minute to take as well, and just have everything prepped like I do for a demo. Now, just a word on the vacuum sealing. I had we were camping, and I thought, use all these vacuum sealed bags. I actually took berries in one of these, and they were amazing. They stayed in our little camp fridge, and they were fine. But the other vegetables, I just thought I'd try this. I vacuum sealed them perfectly, and then during the week they blew out. So they didn't blow the bags open, but they, having read a little bit more, because I just got so excited about it, I just did it. It says it's a good idea to blanch your veggies first. So I've got a little theory around this. So I vacuum sealed some Parmesan cheese, and that worked perfectly. So I'm thinking something that's dead is okay, but something that's alive can actually give off gases, and it will actually draw some of the liquid out. Now, I had prepped a whole lot of veggies, like a mixed veggies, which we did use, and they were fine. They had blown a little bit, but they were actually fine. But whole carrots and things didn't taste quite the same, because they actually leached a bit of the liquid out of. So the lesson here is, Mandy, keep trying different things, and the next thing I'm going to try is actually blanching the vegetables before I vacuum seal them and take them camping. And it won't be for a while. No camping trips planned, but when I do, I will let you know how it goes. Anyway, we are having easy chicken satay for dinner, and it is a sensational dish.